Hello, in this lesson I want you to solve quadratic equations by completing the square, and I want you to identify features of a quadratic function by writing quadratic equations in vertex form. The vocabulary we're going to have is completing the square. As a review, if you have a perfect square trinomial, what happens is my last term, my constant term, is going to be half of my middle term squared. So what I do to make it a perfect square, I'm going to take half of my middle term, and I'm going to square that. So if I look at example 1 here, I want to find the value of c. So x squared plus 4x plus c is going to be a perfect square. Well, on this particular problem, notice my middle term is b. So b is 4. So I'm going to take half of 4, and I'm going to square that. Well, half of 4 is 2, and 2 squared is 4. So in other words, this is a perfect square, x squared plus 4x plus 4. I can factor that because that's what the whole idea here is. If I take x plus the square root of 4, well, that's 2, isn't it? So x plus 2, the quantity squared. So x plus 2, the quantity squared, is x squared plus 4x plus 4. Now we can take that and we can apply that to solve an equation. That is, if I'm given a problem like this, the first thing I want to do, I want to get all the x's on one side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 12 from both sides first. So then I'm going to get x squared minus 6x, leave a space, equals 7. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to the side, and I'm going to take half my middle term. So I'm going to take half of negative 6, and I'm going to square that. Well, half of negative 6 is negative 3. I square that, I get 9. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 9 to both sides of my equation. So I add 9 to both sides. Now the reason I'm adding 9 is because now I can factor the left side to make it a perfect square, so I can use my square root property. So let's factor that left side. So it'll be the square root of x squared is x, minus the square root of 9 is 3, so x minus 3. It's minus because your middle term is a minus. So it's x minus 3, the quantity squared, equals 7 plus 9, which is 16. Now, I'll take the square root of both sides. So the square root of x minus 3, the quantity squared, is the absolute value of x minus 3, equals 4. The square root of 16 is 4. Now, since you have absolute value, we make two cases. We're going to say x minus 3 equals 4, or x minus 3 equals negative 4. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add 3 to both sides. So in the first case, I get x equals 7. In the second case, when I add 3 to both sides, x equals negative 1. Keep moving on me. I don't know what's going on there. Now, I can check my work because I know in my beginning, x squared minus 6x plus 12, I'm supposed to get 19. Well, let's replace x with 7. So if I go 7 squared minus 6 times 7 plus 12, do I get 19? Well, 7 squared is 49. 6 times 7 is 42, plus 12. Well, 49 minus 12 is 7. 7 plus 12 is 19. It checks, doesn't it? Let's start with negative 1. Let's check it with negative 1. So I'm going to say, is negative 1 squared minus 6 times negative 1 plus 12? Do I get 19 also? Well, negative 1 squared is 1. A negative times a negative is a positive, so I go 1 plus 6 plus 12. 1 plus 6 is 7. 7 plus 12 is 19. It checks. There you have it.